A lot of people were talking about, the comments you made with the receivers kind of needing to pick up their play and get ready because once the season starts, we don't really have a choice. Have you found yourself in like a more active coaching role almost with those guys? And do you feel like they've come along to the point like you expected them to be at this point right on the precipice of the season?
Well, again, Ty, great question.
Yeah!
Thank you.
Yeah, Misty and Tahoe, but I think as you get older, you have to step into that more of a coaching role, and I love those opportunities. I think it's important anytime that I'm speaking up in a meeting that those guys take notes because I'm not just speaking for my health. That I'm usually dropping some things that may come up at some point during the year, and I think it's important that everybody's dialed in on the same page and paying attention. And I will say those young guys have come along now. We got to get Samari, a little bit more focused, but he is very, very talented. I'm starting with him, our 7th-round pick, Samari Toure. And I thought he had a really nice camp and did some great things and improved. His last game, I think he had like 6 catches for 80 yards and kind of basically won his spot on the last game, and I give him a lot of credit. But the other 2 guys, I think, can really make an immediate impact for us. I'm talking about Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson.
Let's go, boys.
It was good having Christian back at practice. He missed a lot of practice. And during that time, what was going on? Romeo was getting a ton of love, right? He was getting a lot of pub. He was making plays in practice. He was making plays in games. The thing I like about Rome's that I saw right away was that he's a humble kid. And with that humility comes a really good perspective that I haven't done shit yet. And so I'm going to make sure I'm improving every single day because it's one thing to do it in the preseason, it's another thing to do it in the regular season. And I really like his approach and his work ethic. And overall, he's just a great kid. He really is. And excited to have him out there. Christian, missed a lot of time with his knee injury. And then he gets on the field the first couple of days, and you're thinking, who is this 9 right here? I mean, he is big. I might need to change Dave's, Dave Bakhtiari's nickname because this kid might be the new baby giraffe. I mean, he's maybe more like a deer because he's out there just prancing around and flying around on the field. I mean, this dude's got incredible stride length and really for a man who's 6'5", like his speed is legit. So it was nice having him. He's a different type of receiver than we've had. A guy that big with that type of stride length and that speed. So again, we're going to temper expectations for sure. And I did say earlier in camp, Romeo might be held to a different standard than it's a normal rookie, but we still need to temper expectations of those guys and realize they are rookies. But I am impressed with all 3 of those guys, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. But we're going to need those guys to step up and play well when they get a chance. When it comes to holding those guys accountable, that's what we do. They asked me a question about receivers. They have a shit day. I'm going to tell them they had a shit day. They have a week where they don't play good. I'm going to talk about it. But we're also going to love each other up and hold each other accountable and pat each other on the ass when we're making good plays and get serious when we need to have better performance. But I like the approach from those guys. Christian asked a lot of questions. So does Romeo. A lot of questions. And their goal is improvement and getting on the same page. And when you pair that with the veterans that we got, which I tell you what, Sammy Watkins and Randall Cobb have practiced as good as I've seen receivers practice in the last few weeks.
Haven't heard about it at all. Nope. Haven't heard about it at all.
In a long time. So
yeah.
Really happy with those guys. And obviously I love Allen and trust him a lot. So I like the group that we got. We get the big giraffe back and big sexy Elton Jenkins. We should be in a good place offensively.
All right, we got baby giraffe, big sexy, big giraffe. I mean, this offense sounds like quite a phenomenon of people. What do you? Let's assume.
Got the mayor.
The mayor.
A.J. Dillon, the mayor.
Oh yeah, Door County.
Of all of Wisconsin.
Mostly Door County.
Okay. He's shaking a lot of hands. He's got those quads though. I'm big. I'm grown. He ran over that mascot. You talked to him about killing that mascot. Did you see that?
Didn't feel bad.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. That guy signed up for a fucking one-on-one with A.J. Dillon. You got the ball or not, pal? I guess that's what you said to him?
I mean, it's like would you rather get run over by A.J. Dillon or a roundhouse from Chuck Norris? I don't know. Not sure.
That could be C, huh? All of the above. What do you think is, because let's assume that these guys are watching this, right? Just like every coach's press conference that has said, the players all hear exactly what is said about the players because of that. Same thing with you, especially with rookies that are going to have to do business with you that are wide receivers. You said let's temper expectations. They're still rookies, even though we're going to hold them to a higher standard because they're going to have to perform more. What are some things that they're going to encounter, you think, that are like just hiccups? Like, have you talked to them about that? Like, there's going to become a coverage, a human. Like, what do you think is going to be the issue with the young wide receiver in your timing, or maybe you having ultimate success early?
Speed. That's it. That really is it. And also, I believe it's this is a double entendre here. Start in Speed. Who was the main star in the movie Speed? Do you remember?
Keanu.
And whose birthday is it today?
Well, happy birthday, Aaron.
Yeah.
Keanu's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Happy
Happy birthday, Keanu Reeves, dude. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Wick. Appreciate you, dude.
Greatest actor of our generation. But to return to your answer, it is Speed. So I don't mean necessarily the speed of the game, because obviously it gets a little faster from regular season to from preseason to regular season. But the speed at which your brain must operate and still be able to leave room for reaction. So the worst thing that a player, any player, young player, old player can do is be robotic. You know, be so locked into what you're doing, you can't leave any room for reactions and instincts. When it comes to rookies, it is hard to be able to feel comfortable with what you're doing and leave room for the reactions, because your mind starts running a million miles an hour. And when you talk about the game slowing down, right, this is fun thing, sports talk, you know, the game slowed down for you. What does that actually mean? Well, it doesn't mean you're slowed down. It means your mind has relaxed enough to make room for reactions and instincts to enter. And that's going to be the biggest challenge for them, and it's going to take a play or two plays or a game. You know, could be game 1, could be game 17. Thanks, NFLPA. But could be game 17 where it kicks in. Hopefully, game 1 or 2 or 3, or something early on. But I'm sure they'll figure it out. They're good kids. They really care about it, and they ask good questions, and they're supremely talented. So it's just a speed. Once the brain slows down and they allow room for the reactions and the instincts, the game becomes a little bit easier.
Hey, good luck out there, boys. Figure it out. Tell your brain to figure out what the brain needs to do. All right? And the NFLPA is going to be pumped with how you delivered that, 17-game monologue there. A lot of money, though, coming into the league. There's going to be 18 games next year or the year after that. Whenever it can happen, there's going to be 18 games. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. We're not going to get into it.